This is the principle of machine guarding, in which we can discuss the point of operation, zero mechanical state. Then under the zero mechanical state, what exactly the power lock of guarding, machine guarding, enclosure, fencing, safety by position or location. So all these points can be covered under this ZMS, and then in-going, that is in running NIPS, then in safety by constructions. So machine can be guarded, and that need or the requirement is depend on the conditions. So the guarding may be needed due to the point of operation is not safe. That may be required for power off, that is automatic, maybe sensor with the help of sensors. That may be a mechanical sensor, that may be a electrical sensor. Then some guarding can be done in running, and some guards can be constructed. So that is called as fixed guard. So some guards are needed to be fixed at a particular place at a particular safe distance. So there are some principles of this machine guardings which is listed here. Now what exactly the ergonomic of machine guarding? So for that purpose you must know the ergonomic word. So it is useful tool for fitting work to people, not people to work. Try to understand this. Ergon means work and nomos means the habit of law. So you have to work according to the law, according to the sequence or the procedural steps which is given by the organization, or the standards or the rules and regulations. Okay. So it is useful tool for fitting the work to people. So whatever the work is there, whatever the activities or the operations are needed in your industry, that should be fitted, that should be comfortable to the peoples, and for that purpose this ergonomic study is needed. So now this ergonomic is related to the machine guarding. So ergonomics is for the purpose of solving the problems of work habits. It requires designing of proper workplace, working postures, reach, seat, controls, knob, brake, display, communication, skills, work intensity, sufficient time for rest, good environment, clear understanding, provide platforms or lift tables, carts, transport ways, proper storage racks, buffer stocks, good lighting, ventilation, housekeeping, proper guards, and good welfare facilities. So all these parameters, if you want to do in a comfort zone, then the ergonomics is needed. So to have a good working posture, to avoid the pains that may be in the shoulder, that may be in forearms, that may be a back pain due to wrong postures. So to modify the correct working posture to avoid these types of pains, we have to study the ergonomics. Then in some of the cases, that may be a continuation work, that may be a repetition of work. So due to the repetition of work, there may be again a stress develop in the body. So to avoid these stresses, we have to study the ergonomics. So what is the simple way, what is the simple solution to do that work in a repetitive manner? Then depending on the skills, depending on the work intensity, sometimes the work may be more than 8 hours, sometimes the work is on the tabletop only, sometimes some people are working on the computers only, and sometimes some people are working on the platform only. That may be a particular welding operation, that may be a cutting operation, that may be a screw joining operations, whatever. So some people are doing the same activity, doing the same operation on a continuous basis in a continuous manner, and that may create some body stresses, that may create some fatigues, and for that purpose ergonomics should be studied, and we must identify the simple working activities, the simple ways, simple methodology to do that work, and that is called as ergonomics. And if it is related to the machine guarding, then it is called as ergonomic of machine guarding. So the ergonomic principle include comfortable posture. That comfortable word is very important. Comfortable posture, balanced and easy motions, adequate rest, and enough variety. So the aim of ergonomic is to facilitate whatever a person wishes to do and to ensure that he does it comfortably and efficiently. So efficiency includes effective work without detrimental health effects and minimization of risk to the operator and others. Say for example, if there is a machine having some rotatory parts, and due to that rotatory part, if you are not going to do this particular activity comfortably, then that may create some hazard, that may create some hurdles for comfortable operations. In some of the cases, the efficiency of that particular operation is going to reduce due to the uncomfortable working posture, maybe due to uncomfortable working activities, which is the rotating part, rotating machinery, which is unguarded. So if you provide the guard to that particular machinery, and the guard should be provided in such a way that that should not be an obstacle to the regular operations. The working conditions, plant and infrastructure should be so designed that they are best fitted to the workers. The purpose is not to fit workers to any awkward, unsafe, unhealthy, or uncomfortable work. So we have to avoid all these things, that is awkward positions or awkward postures, unsafe conditions, unhealthy or uncomfortable work. We have to fit that particular guard in such a way that the worker can do that activity or the operations in a comfortable way. But the purpose is to design to provide work and working conditions comfortable. To minimize the possibility of human error or mistakes, to ensure industrial activities with minimal use of energy and materials and without waste resulting from the mistakes. So we have to minimize these human errors or mistakes. So in the previous session we have already discussed that most of the accidents are happen due to human error. So we have to avoid this human error or mistakes. So we can provide the guards, we can use the ergonomic for providing these guards to avoid the mistakes. To develop knowledge and techniques by the combined use of many expertise and system approach to solve the human problems of work performance by considering human factors in the design of machines and work and safe job methods, which are explained in the following parts. So these are some of the aims of ergonomic study for providing the guarding to the machines. So there are some human factors in the design of machine and work. So that may be an increased stress. So that stress may be a physical stress or psychological stress. Then uninterested work. So if the activity is not a routine activity, if it is not interested or the person is not interested in that activity, then that may be a part or maybe a factor. Then errors and accidents. So errors may be a human error, that may be electrical or machinery error or mechanical errors. And work-related diseases. So some work may create some diseases that may be a heavy work, that may be a related to the chemical handling, that may be related to the work in the working environment where the gases or fumes are generated and like that. In awkward body position causing difficulty, in some of the cases like welding operation, grinding operations, rolling operations, some machinery operations, there are various operations where this awkward body position may be a difficulty. Repetitive tasks producing boredom and tiredom. So some activities and some tasks if you are going to do in repetitive manner, then there may be a problem, because due to the repetition of this activity, fatigue may be created, and due to this fatigue, boredom and tiredness may be generated. Then confusing signals causing human lens in hurry. So some signals that may be a manual signals. So some signals may be provided by the persons, some signals may be provided by the machineries. So if the signals are not appropriate, if signals are not clear, then they may cause human errors in hurry. Bent or awkward postures while handling heavy materials and causing back pain. So we have studied about how to lift the heavy materials for heating load. What exactly the limits of these heavy materials in the terms of kgs, and depending on the age, depending on the sex, that is male or female. So all these guidelines are given, should be followed. If it is not followed, then it causes a back pain. Then perceptual limitations, then short-term memories, that may be a problem while doing activities with operation in a continuous manner. Then incompatibility in man-machine relationship. So some persons, some employees are always comfortable with the manual operations, and some persons are always comfortable with the automatic operations. So in case if there is a relationship between man and machines, and if that person is not having the training, if that person is not having the experience, then there may generate incompatibility. That a person is not compatible with that machines. So that may also create a hazard and chances of accidents. Then risk or chance taking. So whatever the risk, you should identify with the help of some studies and for your operation in that department, and then you can decide where to go for the activity or not, depending on the risk. So generally, the recommendation is that low risk, in the low risk atmosphere, in the low risk operation, you can go for the taking chance, but that is also for the limited conditions only. Position or location not suitable to workers, such as unsuitable for height, seat, layout of control and displays. So depending on your work height, depending on the displays, depending on the control panel, and some other accessories that should be comfortable with your working postures. So if that position or location is not suitable for you, then you have to address that position or location. Then organization of heavy work and environment, these are the different factors. So some persons are having some allergies with the different environmental conditions. So that may be a high temperature, that may be a high humidity, and that may be a cold stresses or heat stresses. So depending on the body, depending on the regular habits of that person, the environmental factors may cause hazard, that may create a hazard, and that may cause an accident. To avoid all these human factors, we have to consider this factor while designing the guarding, while designing the machineries, and while deciding the appropriate sequence of work. That is nothing but the safe operating procedures or standard operating procedures. So we have to consider all these human factors while deciding all these activities. And what exactly the requirement of machine guarding? So on the basis of this observation of this picture, you can understand what exactly these activities are and why this machine guard is required. So basically, machine guarding is to protect against contact. So the point of contact is one of the important factors with the dangers and moving parts, especially. So where the operations are involving some machineries, some moving parts, then there is a chances of accidents. So we have to avoid this point of contact. So how to avoid this point of contact? Providing the machine guarding. So sometimes that may be a work in process, and failure due to mechanical, electrical, chemical, or human causes, the guards remove work sphere and thereby increase their morale and productions. So if the guards are provided to that particular point of contact where dangerous operations or some moving parts are there, then obviously the morale is going to boost for that particular worker, because he or she knows that now there are less chances of accidents with particular with that particular operations. The guards remove workers here and thereby increase the morale and production. They allow the operation at higher speeds and compensate expenditure on running. So if you increase the speed with the safety speed or below the safety speed with the help of these guards also, then you can continue your production, you can increase your efficiency as well as efficiency of the production or utilization of that particular machinery by guarding itself, and that is why you can compensate this cost or the expenditure on guarding. But danger exists from machinery, safe working practices alone is insufficient and can't be relied on from safety point of view. So guards are essential as engineering and built-in control to prevent accident when other precautions fail. So when other precautions are not feasible, then you can go for the guarding provisions. Now some statutory requirements are also the need of the guards. Statutory means medical requirement. That is the requirement which is given under the acts or rules. So the statutory requirement may be at the national level, that may be at state level, and that may be on the international level also. So at the international level, ILO guidelines are there, and International Labour Organization Convention 119 and Recommendation 118 explains the guarding of machineries. That is the statutory requirement at international level. Then at the central or national level, Factory Act in 1844 in England and Factory Act in 1881 in India, and then amendment done in 1891 and the last amendment in 1948, again focusing on the guarding of machineries. So in the Factory Act 1948, Chapter 4 clearly mentions the provisions of the sections under the Chapter 4, which is on safety, that includes some of the provisions for machine guarding. So that is again a central or national level requirement. Some of the definitions which are related to this machine guarding in the Factory Act are given. So like power, we know what exactly the power is. That is electrical energy or any other form of energy which is mechanically transmitted and is not generated by human or chemicals. Then prime mover is any engine, motor or otherwise which generates or otherwise provides power. Then transmission machineries means any shaft, wheel, drum, pulley, system of pulleys, coupling, clutch, driving belt, or other appliance or device by which the motion of prime mover is transmitted to or received by any machinery or appliance. So all these things are the definitions from the acts, and that is why it is specific definitions. So you can understand these definitions or terminologies which are related to the machine guarding. Then machine includes prime movers, transmission machineries, and all other appliances whereby power is generated, transformed, transmitted, or applied. So belt includes any driving strap or rope. So maintained means maintained in an efficient state. So the efficiency should be maintained, efficiency can be improved, and you can also apply this guarding in an appropriate manner for a comfortable operation. So the fencing of machinery is one of the sections which is related to the guarding of this machinery. Section 21 requires that every moving part of prime mover, flywheel, head brace, and tail brace of water wheel and turbine, lathe, electric generator, motor, rotary converter, transmission machinery, and every dangerous part of any other machinery shall be securely constructed, positioned, or fenced by safeguards of substantial construction and constantly maintained and kept in a position while the parts of machinery they are fencing are in motion or in the use. So the parts or the equipment directly mentioned in this section 21, that is prime mover, flag wheel, turbine, lathe, generator, etc. So for that purpose, you should provide the machine guard. Then section 22 requires that any examination, lubrication, adjusting, operation, mounting or shifting of belts while the machinery is in motion shall be carried out by a specially trained and male worker wearing tight-fitting clothing supplied by the occupier, and his name shall be recorded in the register in form number 8. So if you want to do some examination, testing, lubrication, adjusting operation, mounting, shifting, etc., then you have to provide a trained person only, which is already registered in the form number 8. So it is mentioned in the section 22. Such worker shall not handle a belt at a moving pulley unless the belt is not more than 50 cm in width. The pulley is in a normal drive, that is no flag wheel or balance wheel, only a simple pulley or a normal drive. The belt joint is less or flush with belt, the pulley joint and pulley ring are in good repair. There is reasonable clearance to work, secure foothold, handhold are provided, and any ladder being used to secure fixed or held by a second person. So all these activities, how to run these activities, what are the restrictions, that is 15 centimeter width is the restrictions. Then there is another restriction that second person should be supported some of the activities, and at the time other parts in motion should be securely fenced to prevent their contact. So you have to take safety precautions or precautionary measures to avoid the accidents or create some types of mechanical hazards. Woman or young person is not allowed to do such works, and only male persons or male candidates are allowed to do such works. Then employment of young persons on dangerous machines. So we have already discussed these sections under the important factory act sections. On power presses, except hydraulic presses, milling machines, fuel tank machines, circular saws, and printing machines, no young person shall work unless he has been fully instructed regarding their dangers, precautions to be observed, and has received sufficient training to work on that machine and is under adequate supervision by a person who has thorough knowledge and experience of that machine. So only experienced, knowledgeable, and the adult persons are allowed to do the dangerous operations. Striking gear and devices for cutting of power. Suitable striking gear or other efficient device to driving belts to and from fasten loose pulleys and to prevent the belt from tripping back on the fast pulley should be used and maintained. Driving belts not in use should not rest or ride upon shafting in motion, for which belt anchors are necessary. Other devices for cutting off power are necessary in every workroom. Such devices shall be so locked to prevent accidental starting of the machinery. So we have to apply the Ludo system, that is lockout and tagout systems, when you do such type of work, because cut off the energy supply, may be electrical energy, or steam energy, that may be air as energy, and that may be some other utilities. So depending on the type of work, we have to cut off the supply, and for that purpose, Loto system is the best system, and another system is the work systems. Self-acting machines, so 45 centimeter or more clear space is necessary from the end of maximum transfers of any self-acting machine or motor carried thereon. So 45 centimeters is the main factor where you can understand what is clear space is required in the industries. Casing of new machinery. Every set wheel screw, bolt, key area shall be completely encased or guarded to prevent dangers. This casing, there is nothing but the covering is required for every new machinery. Then work near water openers. No one or child shall work in a room where water opener is at work if the feed end is fully partitioned from the delivery end, their employment on feed end side is permissible. So for bottom openers only, because these are the old sections and old laws, when the textile industry is one of the major industrial sector, and that is why this guidelines are given. Then revolving machineries. So under this factor, there is a specific guidelines in under Maharashtra factory rule also. Some guidelines are given related to the revolving machineries. That is, effective measures are necessary to ensure not to exceed the safe working peripheral speeds. So on the revolving machinery, there is a point where it is clearly mentioned that what is the maximum permissible speed or maximum working peripheral speed of this particular grinding wheel or revolving vessel or cage, basket, flywheel, pulley, brake or similar appliances running by the power. So all the testing for these rotations is done by the manufacturers as per as the I standard is concerned, and that is why these limitations or the maximum permissible limits are given on the volume machineries. A notice indicating maximum safe peripheral speed of the grinding wheel, speed of the shaft, or spindle upon which the wheel is mounted, and diameter of the pulley to secure safe working peripheral speed of the grinding wheel shall be affixed near each such machines, and effective brake is also required. So in some of the cases, if the speed is not controllable and if there are chances of accident, then you can use this effective brake also. And for that purpose, this effective brake system is to be provided for that revolving machineries. Then further safety precautions. Rule 54 prescribes machine guarding details in respect of textile machineries, cotton gin machineries, woodworking machineries, rubber mills, centrifugal machines, power presses, shears, splitters, and guillotine machines. So all these machineries and their operations and the guidelines are given under this rule number 54 of the Maharashtra Factory Rule 1963, and some other state rules also. The rule number may be a plus minus different, but the guidelines are near about same for the safety precautions purpose. Then some eliminations of hazards. So if it is possible to reduce, if it is possible to eliminate, to remove that particular hazard which is related to the machineries, related to the operations. So the operations may be crushing, shearing, cutting, severing, then entanglement, drawing in or trapping, impact, stabbing, puncture, friction, abrasion, ejection of material from the machines, contact with moving part, that is the point of contact, in hot surfaces or sharp edge, free fall of any material, tool or equipment, and high pressure fluid ejections. So for these types of operations, if it is possible to eliminate that hazard, you should eliminate this type of hazards. So what are the basic steps to prevent the accidents due to these operations or the machineries? First is eliminate the hazard from the machine, method, material, and structure. Control the hazard by enclosing or guarding it at its source. Then train personnel to know the hazard and to follow the safe job method to avoid it. And then use personal equipment if it is necessary. So we have to first try whether this hazard can be eliminated or not. If it is feasible, then you must go for the elimination method, and this hazard identification and prevention technique can be adopted for the elimination of this type of hazards to prevent the accidents. Now in the industries, there are various operations, there are various machinery, there are various types of machineries, and there are various types of hazards related to these type of machineries, and that is why the dangerous parts are grouped in different parts. So according to the motions, the dangerous parts will be guarded according to their motions are generally classified as different groups. So group one is rotary motions. So the motion type is rotary. Then what are the operations, hazards, and precautionary measures should be? So for the group one rotary motions, rotary parts alone, that is shaft, coupling, spindles, projections, moving parts, flywheel, saw gear, knife cutting tools, etc. So all these are nothing but examples of these rotary motions or rotating parts alone. In running needs, subdivided as between parts rotating in opposite directions. So gearing mechanism, we all know this gearing mechanism in watch, in vehicles, and in some of the machineries. So there is a gear which is having clockwise direction, there is another gear in anti-clockwise direction, and likewise. So in the opposite direction, so there is a rotation between these parts. In a similar way, there may be a rollers. So the rollers may be used in the paper mill, that may be used in the rubber uh, rubber industries or in other industries also. So in the roller machines also, there is opposite directions. So one roller is moving in the clockwise and another roller is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So the application may be different. That may be a dry process. That may be a uniform thickness process. That may be a continuation process. For the attachment of a particular layer, that may be a paper, that may be a rubber sheet, that may be a plastic part or other. Then between rotating and tangential moving parts. So these examples are conveyors, belt drivers, rack and pinion arrangement, etc. So you have to observe, if you are not from the mechanical or engineering background, then you should understand what exactly these belt drives, what exactly these rack and pinion arrangements and conveyor systems. Conveyors may be a belt conveyor, that may be a chain conveyor, that may be a screw conveyor, that may be a bucket elevator, etc. These are the different examples where rotating and tangential moving parts are there. Then between rotating and fixed parts. So one part is fixed and another part is rotating. Then bending mill, paper machine filling or roll, drums, cylinders, worms, spirals, etc. are the examples of this rotating and fixed parts. All these examples and conditions are under the group 1 rotating motions. In group 2, reciprocating sliding motions is there. So in the reciprocating sliding motions and fixed part, there are again two types, that is one approach type and second is passing type. So under this approach type, danger of crushing, sides or ramps, ramps means striking on power presses, forging hammers, pistons, crossroad of steam engines, and riveting machines. So if you are not from engineering background, then you should observe these diagrams, images, or some of the videos which are related to these type of operations, so that you can understand what type of hazard is involved and why there are chances of accidents. The another type is passing type. Danger of shearing is line machines, shapers, spot welders, clamping fixtures, guillotine, and shear, power stress, presses, etc. So all these machineries and their shearing operations are involved under this passing types. So we have to pass that material for the shearing process. Then second point under this reciprocating sliding machine is single sliding machine or single sliding motion. So abrasive or sharp nature of objects such as saws and crocodile tips on beds are the examples for this single sliding motion. Under the group 3, it focuses on the rotating or sliding motion. A cam gear having sliding and turning movement, etc., falls within this group. So this is the group where it clearly mentions the rotating or sliding motion. Then group 4 focusing on the oscillating motions. The oscillations we have already studied in the physics, maybe in the school level, at the school level or at the college level. So tracking points between the two moving parts or between the moving part and the fixed object. So if it is happen, then it is called as oscillating motions or the group. The examples are pendulum, crankshafts, and closing patterns, etc. These are the different groups created according to the motions, and the examples are given under this group 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, on the basis of these groups, we have to finalize, we have to decide which type of guard is suitable or comfortable for this type of activity to reduce the hazard. But please mind it that before finalizing this type of guard, we have to think about the human factors, which is already discussed in the previous slide. And for the comfortable operations, for the safe operation, for reducing the hazard, for reducing the risk, we have to finalize the type of guard. So the guards may be a fixed guard, that may be an interlock guard, that may be an adjustable guard, and that may be a self-adjusting guard. So the types of guards may be a different, or classification may be different in at different sources, but we should understand at least this basic types of guards. So this fixed guard of machine, from this picture you can observe these guards are fixed on that machinery itself, right? So you can observe this type of guard, you can observe this type of guard. So the point of contact is 0 when the guard is fixed, right? So while operating this machine, while revolving this machine or rotation of this particular part, you are safe from this part which is rotating, maybe at speed of thousands of RPM, etc. So depending on that part and machinery, the speed of the part is depend. But you can provide the fixed type of part if the machine or machinery is on the continuous basis, if you want to use or utilize. And if you want to avoid this point of contact, then you should provide this fixed type of part. Then there are interlock guard of machines. So revolving drum is here. It is not 100% fixed type of guard. It is not 100% protected. But where there are chances of contact, then that part is protected by this interlock guard. So this interlock guard are not fixed type. You can remove as per the requirement whenever, or if there is a repair or maintenance part, then you can remove these interlock guards and you can go for the repairing or maintenance work. And after that, before starting, again you have to provide this interlock guard to the machines. Then this is the example of adjustable guard of machines. You can provide this guard as per your requirement. So it is bands of dead and it is adjustable with the adjustable guards. So depending on the type of work, depending on the time of work, and depending on the type of hazard, we can provide this adjustable guards. So the moment of this guard can be adjusted with the help of this screw or pinion arrangement, and this is the self-adjusting guard. You can use this self-adjusting guard for the operations like this, because in the circular table saw, normally you can observe that these are open, and in this case, this self-adjusting guard is provided. So you can remove this guard, you can adjust this guard as per your requirement, but you have to provide this guard to reduce the hazard. And this is two-type device. So whenever the actual operation is going on, in a particular point, then you can use this pullback device. So you can observe this arrangement in the picture. Here also, these hands are attached with the bias assembly, and this wire assembly is attached to these fixtures. Where when you are operating this machine, obviously after operations, some sensors can be used, or you can use the semi-automatic or manual operations are also there. But when the actual operation is going on, then your hands are pulled by this device, and that is why it is called as pullback device. So your hands, in some of the cases that may be your legs, so that particular body part are going to pull by this device for providing the safety to your hands or the legs, or that may be a body part. So pulling of this body part with help of device while operating the machinery is called as pullback device assembly. Then these are again another examples like restraint device. So you can operate this machinery and some distance, and again the safety belts and some attachments are fixed to avoid the point of contact with the safety tripwire cable also. If in case anything is stripped in a particular conveyor systems or in a roller systems or in other systems also, because in this type of conveyor systems, if you observe the conventional systems of conveyors, then there are accidents, or history always says that there are accidents of um, skipping of hands or tripping of hands or fingers in the conveyors, in the roller systems. So to avoid that, you can use these tripwire cables. So if anything is strapped to these rollers, so obviously automatic the operation is going to stop. So you can use these types of guards. In two-hand control, in some of the machineries, if there are chances of tapping one hand or finger part of your hand, then you have to use this two-hand operations. So you can observe this yellow part and red parts. Then you can observe these parts also. So there are some machineries where you have to operate these machineries with the help of two hands, and the controlling of these machineries are with the help of two hands. That is why it is called as two-hand control systems. Unless and until you have, if you don't provide the two hands, the machine is not going to operate. That may be for the open condition, that may be for the closed condition. You can observe this picture for gate open and gate closed. So this operation, so here you can observe this. Now in this condition, here gate is open and now gate is closed. So point of contact here, this point of contact is open. When you are going to operate these two-hand control systems, this gate is closed while operating the machinery. Now some sensors can be adopted for some of the equipments like press machines, some heavy cutting machines or heavy knife, and some of the equipments or machinery where there are chances of accidents, or the historical date of that particular machinery always indicate that there is a requirement of sensors. So some electrical, electronic sensors or mechanical sensors can be provided for the avoiding the point of contact. So this is the danger area in this picture. So here it is a sensing device on both sides. So if you are going to try to operate this machinery with the help of some hands or legs, then if your body part is sensed by this sensing machine, so this machine is going to stop. So that is the sensing mechanism. It can be applicable to some of the equipments or machineries. And this is another example where safeguard by distance is there. So here the maximum distance is maintained and the control panel is here. So with the help of safe distance, you can operate this machinery with the help of control panel, and the operator is far away from this moving machinery. That is safeguard by distance systems. Then this is automatic feed and robot systems. So in some operations or operations, automatic feeding systems can be applicable, can be useful, can be incorporated in machineries. So obviously some investment may be there, some additional cost may be there for automatic feeding systems, and more cost is there with the help of robot. But if you use these robot systems, and if we can use these safeguard systems also, because in this area you can avoid the manual interference where the chances of accidents are there, or where the major accident chances or major injuries are there. This is the press machine, and this press machine is operated by this robots, right? So nowadays the robotics can be applied and utilized by some of the companies in specifically some of the areas where press machines are there, where heavy cutting machines are there, or where the chemicals are utilized, that is hazardous chemical or toxic chemicals, or where chemicals are utilized on a continuous manner. Say for example, in automobile industry, the spraying of colors or the painting section or paint section, where solvents as well as chemical compounds like paints are used on a continuous manner. So to avoid the direct contact, to avoid the inhalation of these solvent or paints or toxic chemicals, we can use this robot for spraying the paints on the vehicles. So these are the different pictures where you can observe a protective shield system as a part. So in this operation, this protective shield is provided. So there are no chances of contact or the manual interventions, and we can avoid the accident. In the same way here, if this is the operation. In the old days, we were using these lathe machines or like operations where these operations or the point of contact is open, but we have to apply this protective shield to avoid the point of contact. Thank you.